you know, if one of my favorite Miami Dolphins is on one of my favorite Miami Dolphin podcasts, I'm going to react to it. What is up, Fin fans? Dan Marino finally sat down with the boys at the fish tank. Seth and OJ McDuffie. Before I say anything more, before we react to this, before anything, go follow the fish tank, whether it be on Twitter. Follow them. This video is on the Miami Dolphins YouTube channel. Pretty sure you're subscribed there. They got 135,000 subscribers. But on Spotify, all places you can find a podcast, go follow the fish tank. Because they have Dolphins of the past and the present. I was going to say the future. How? And the present on there constantly with some great stories. Like Marino is just so good. They've had Zach Thomas on. They've had Tim Bowens on. Orlando Mare. They've had them all of them. Devon Bess. Go check them out. Go help my guys Seth and OJ. I could say that, my guys. I've had them on the channel. Love talking to them. Fantastic. So we're gonna react to this. Dan Marino sitting down. Now I'm not gonna do the whole thing because I feel like you need to go watch the episode. Again, it's on the Miami Dolphins YouTube channel. But I'm excited for this one.
Fish Tank right here on the Miami Dolphins Podcast Network. Seth Levitt and the toughest podcaster Dan Marino ever played with. Yes. And Dan friggin' Marino.
Yeah.
We made it, Juice.
OJ, man. He's the man. He's the man.
Man, no, Danny's the man. You know that, Big Seth. But you know what, though? I always say this all the time, man. Danny never put me in tough positions out there on the football field. So I can be as tough as I wanted to be, but he always took care of me when he threw me rocks. That's for sure.
Most of the time. One time. Not always. Yeah. I'm sure there was a couple times, man. I'm sure there was definitely a couple times, but I try to do that.
So there's so much to talk about. It was kind of hard to say, okay, how do we take Dan Marino's career and compress it to do this interview? But before we get into any of that, my partner here has been telling a story for 5 years since we started the fish tank. Literally on the first episode, he told this story. I didn't know if he was full of
you're going here. So
well, that's okay. That's okay. We'll catch up, but I need some validation. So he claims in his rookie year, 1993, a rumor starts to go around the locker room that he can throw the ball 70 yards. Mm-hmm. And you need to find out. And so you approach him, you're like, bro, I don't think you can do it. And you guys place a wager and make him go out to the field.
And he did it.
And he did it. So this is true.
Throw a lot further than I could.
Oh, wow.
But the only difference is this, OJ, you got to admit, I could hit what I'm throwing.
That's right. That's right.
That's the biggest thing, too. It's so funny they're joking around, but I had a conversation with somebody on Twitter, and they were talking about the fact that like Tua's not as athletic and Tua can't do this and Tua can't break the pocket, yada yada. Like Josh Allen could do that, Josh Allen this, Josh Allen that. If you had to ask me, what quarterback do you want? Do you want a guy with a rocket arm but his accuracy isn't good? Or do you want a guy with an average arm that has ridiculous accuracy? I'm taking the accuracy. You could carve up a defense left and right with accuracy. No accuracy, but a rocket arm, that's all fine and dandy. Ask Marcus Russell how that all went. Good thing Dan Marino had the accuracy and the rocket arm.
But I couldn't throw it 70, man.
So he did it.
No, it's amazing. Like, I mean, there was other guys, too. There were certain guys, remember Charles Jordan?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he could throw it a long way, too. Yeah, but not like OJ. But, I mean, yeah, it's just.
But did you not?
For the guys who, again, go watch the episode. I'm going to be pausing and talking through a ton of this stuff. Go watch the episode. He kind of looks like my dad.
I think he could do it, and then you just wanted to see it.
I want to see it.
Okay.
No, I look, if you're working with guys that are like at the level of OJ and the other guys we were around at that time, if they say they could do it, usually they can.
You know, Danny, man, I knew right away, man, that you had this confident, that you were a confident person, one of the most confident people I'd ever been around. And that was fun. In fact, your confidence is legendary. We actually just had Scott Mitchell on. And Scott Mitchell was talking about.
He was on? Okay.
Yeah.
When he came on, he was talking about there was these three rules that, that Danny Marino told him about when he was a rookie. One, we always talk about, pick a guy and let it fly.
Yep.
So that was always something that we talk about. One of the rules he said was, when you were born, and you don't know this because you weren't born yet, your mom cried all day because you weren't Dan Marino. That's not true. That's what he said.
No.
You got a whole catalog of things.
Look at him fixing things. I never wore the bottle. Phone glasses. I never said that.
Oh, that stuff. Yeah.
You got some one-liners now.
No, I know it sounds messed up, but I used to do Duper and Clayton the same way. Like I used to say, your mother wanted you to grow up to be just like me.
Right.
Just for giggles and fun, you know what I mean? So it's over the top arrogant a little bit, but I mean, we were having fun.
Yeah, but you back it up too, man. You know what else? What I used to love Big Seth
because that's inside stuff, you're talking, at the time, but now it doesn't matter.
Right.
Doesn't matter now. Yeah.
It's far from inside right now, I think, at this point.
I used to love when you say, I treat DBs like credit cards. I pull them out and use them whenever I want to.
Yeah.
That was my favorite. Yeah.
So with Sam, who's coaching there, Sam, who I love, he's awesome, right? I tell him all the time. I used to say, dude, I just use you like a credit card if I want. Just swipe it and keep going.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so
See, we don't know. Being my age, like again, I was born in '87. I became a Dolphin fan when OJ was drafted. Funny thing. You don't know these stories of Marino. You hear things about Marino, like his whole rumor about why he fell in the draft, and then his whole rumor about him and Jimmy Johnson, and then there's these chatters of rumors, but you don't know these things. And that's funny that Dan Marino is a crap talker. Like, I hate Philip Rivers because he's always yapping. Same thing with Josh Allen. And now to find out that Dan Marino is the same way, I'm like, oh, all right.
Head in the middle of the night. Just thinking about it. I don't know.
I told you my favorite. So,
okay.
1996 is my internship here. And this is back when, they didn't have the tablets or whatever. So we would do the headshots, right? And Harvey sent me down there, and everybody has to approve their headshot. Dave Cross would take 3 pictures. Everybody would look at it. I don't like this one. I don't like the way I look. I hand it to you, and you take a look. You're sitting in the training room. You're like, it don't matter, bro. I don't take a bad picture.
That's the fun part. Yeah.
I was like, all right. And the whole training room was like, damn.
That's fun. That's
so
fun
good.
stuff, though. It's just like you get to a point. You're in the locker room. You're in the training room. It's okay to kind of
love it.
Have that, camaraderie with your teammates and the people you work with, which makes it really cool.
Yeah.
Danny, where's that confidence come from, man? Where's that? I love it, man. Where's that confidence come from?
I think it's just something like you would know this, and a lot of great players would know. It just comes over time, and your ability to perform at a high level and how you want to perform, and then you just trust yourself and you trust the people around you, and it's just something that's there, that's going to be there, for as long as you want.
Yeah.
So Marino's talking about it, and he said his confidence, like he just said it, but of course I'm going to repeat it. His confidence came from his, the trust and the trust of the people around him. You see the confidence and the composure and the having fun of two. And now, versus with Brian Flores, the trust of people around him.
Well, I know we always had a lot of confidence.
Oh, we had
a lot of confidence. We got 1-3, one trade at quarterback.
There
was a lot of confidence in that locker room.
Look, OJ, I depended on you so much for so many years, like just that third down or going in the middle, doing all that stuff. And it would be pretty much, I'll be called play. I'm like, OJ, just make sure you're open.
Love it.
Miami Dolphins, first round selection. The Dolphins select quarterback Dan Marino of Pittsburgh.
So 1983, You expected to be drafted higher. Speaking of those confident things, I love the interview where you're like, guess I'll go down to Miami, work on my tan, which you did a great job of.
Yeah.
But how quickly did you know, again, you're a confident guy, but how quickly did you get out there and start to say, oh, I got this?
So it's crazy. It's like anything. Like when you go from high school, you're in high school and you're playing those guys, like, okay, I got this. And then you go to college and it's kind of the same way. And then the mini camp, I got to the mini camp, and then we had Clayton who came in. He was drafted that year too. And Duper was there and all the guys, Tony Nathan, Cephalo, Nat Moore, all of them. And I was like, you know what? I got a chance to be the starter here pretty quick, and I just felt it. And it was like the first mini camp. And it was one of those things that, you're out there and you're throwing and you have a communication, just instincts, all that stuff with the guys, with the receivers. And it was pretty natural, pretty quick.
Wow.
So that's what kind of made me feel like I was going to be able to play early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very well.
Danny, can you talk about your relationship with Coach Shula? I mean, he put his trust in you at a very early age. We're talking about that right now. You guys developed something really, really special together. And most of the time, Coach Shula was intimidating everybody. But you guys seem like you guys could, really go at each other or talk to each other, with a maturity, but a confidence also that I was afraid to approach him. But it seemed like you guys had such a great relationship, man, and were intimidating most other people.
Well, first of all, when you're, the head coach is in your meeting rooms and quarterback room and all that all the time. I spent a lot of time with Coach Shula, like we really did. We spent a lot of time watching film, talking about games, all those kind of things. And he just, I remember him telling me when I came in when I was a rookie, like he gave me the playbook. We came down in our mini camp and all that stuff. Give me the playbook. He said, go home. I want you to come back. He said, I want you to come back thinking that you're going to be the starter, right? And I want you to work as if you're going to be, and that just got me all pumped up. So he knows, he knew how to like push the right buttons and do that. And you know that too. Like he always had a way of, like in practice, if practice is just going okay, like he would just say a little comment to me, like, man, that was a throw or something, right? Like, and it just, I'm like, what? You're telling me that? I mean, come on. And I just everything went to the next level, man. Let's go. And that's kind of, he had that knack that he was really, really good at that with all the players. But he always, I feel good about, he trusted me. And then also, I mean, give credit to Don Strock. Yeah. You guys, everybody knows Don Strock, and he was like my coach. Like he was my quarterback coach when I first came in. He was 11 years in the league, and he was amazing too to help me, just dealing with Coach Shula too, and all of that is at a young age.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and it's funny that he says that, like, he'll say those things, and he's Don Shula. Talked to OJ. I've talked to a bunch of people that have played under Shula. The fact that I have is just still outstanding to me. But he, it seems like he keeps you at a spot. He doesn't overpraise you and just keeps you level-headed, and that's Shula was the best coach in NFL history, and I will say that till my dying day. He's the most winningest coach and everything.
So strange because it seemed like Coach Shula changed from the 70s to the 80s, and then of course into the 90s. You had him in the 80s and the 90s. It seemed like everybody talks about he's a different coach in the different decades. So you had those 80s. What were those 80s like compared to the 90s when it came to coach?
Well, I think he saw right away the talent that he had after the Super Bowl that they had lost to the Redskins, and then they, I got drafted, Clayton got drafted, some of the other guys that played for a long time on the team, and I think he saw the talent and how the league was going and how it's not going to be just like run first all the time and empty backfields and all that. We were doing that stuff back in like day when no one was doing it. He just committed to it because he knew the talent he had, and that's the best thing about him is just adjusting to the talent that you have, And in the 90s, it was kind of the same way. Right. I mean, it was, we were we were rolling, man. The guys we had, with Keith Jackson, yourself, and
Yeah, we had
Irving,
receivers in the backfield at times. We
Terry
started some
Kirby
stuff,
and Mark Ingram, and we were just, we were rolling.
I promise we're not going to go 1 year at a time and keep you here all day, but I have to talk about 1984.
Okay.
Okay. The things you guys did had never been seen before. And when you go back and look at it, 48 touchdowns, 5,084 yards, you would be MVP today. Was there ever a moment where you were like, man, we're doing something really special? Like, could you understand the magnitude of what you were doing, or were you just too in the moment and too young to have that perspective?
Seth, to be honest with you, we were just rolling, right? We weren't thinking about, we're going to break records, we're going to do all this. It was all about winning football games, and that's what our team was about. And Coach Shula was about that. And the thing is, towards the end of the season, we had to win some games, and we were just, and it just happened to kick in. It was one of those things that I didn't think about 48 touchdowns. Now, I knew about the 36. Right, because break the record, and that's part of, everybody's talking about it. Harvey Green's talking about it every week. It's your boy Harvey. He's coming up with me with all the stats. I'm like, Harvey, don't worry about it. We're just trying to win, man. And
36 touchdowns. 36. I got to look that up real quick. The fact that 36 touchdowns was the record that he needed to break is just astounding to me. I said outstanding before. What I meant to say was astounding to me. The leader right now in touchdowns is Brock Purdy with 29. We still have 4 games left to play. 36.
That year was really special. And if you think about the end, Mark Square, and we call it now, or whatever they call it now, but it's square in, and he just split the safeties and scored, and then didn't know about the 5,000 yards. I mean, I remember Harvey saying that earlier in that week. He said, if you get over 300 something, whatever it was, that you're going to throw for 5,000.
Sure.
Didn't know about it until after the game. He goes, all the time, and if you talk to our guys, our receivers from that time, they will tell you that, like, nowadays they don't take guys out of the game, so they're still throwing the ball. And they would take us out of the game, and we could have put up even bigger numbers, I think.
Tell him who hits you up every week.
Duke, man. Duke.
Oh,
Duke.
How many targets does Tyreek have?
Tyreek's targets all the time. How many targets he got now?
He gets me too, man. He's like, he says, dude, you only give me 5 targets in a game, or 6 targets. Like, they're throwing them 13 balls. They're throwing them 12 balls. I'm like, okay. I mean, dude, go back and play. I don't know what to tell you.
Good. That's so good.
That season, Dan, you guys, put the league on notice, man. And, right, the center was, Mark Clayton and Mark Duper. And, these guys you guys always go back and forth with, the Marks brothers always say, well, we made Dan Marino. And then Dan Marino says, I made the Marks brothers. Who made who, Danny? I mean, that's the question being asked all the time.
So this is like just old guys now,
yeah.
Talking junk. No, that's where we're talking junk on each other. But, I was blessed to have those two, and Jimmy Cefalo, Nat Moore, Nat especially. He's like the Godfather, and so I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them, right here, like I made them. There's no doubt. And I don't care what they say.
Oh man,
I love them to death forever.
It's the chicken and the egg type situation, because you could have great receivers that are running the routes and getting open, but if you don't have a quarterback who can get them the ball accurately, or if you don't have a quarterback that can read and not get crumbled in the behind the offensive, and then the flip, you can have prime example, Patrick Mahomes. Everyone's talking about, Kadarius Toney's dropping passes and so-and-so's dropping passes. The only reliable guy he has right now is Travis Kelce. It's yin and yang.
And we were, it was that was
so good.
Those guys were special, man.
Yeah,
they could roll.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Danny, we have to talk a little bit about this current Miami Dolphins team. I mean, you sit in some meetings, definitely sit in some quarterback meetings. I mean, you're out at practice. You're around every day, which I love, man. How much do you
almost
enjoy?
every day?
Well, I get it. You got. You're also a busy man too. You still got to be Dan Marino. Some other places too. I get it, man. How much do you enjoy, staying connected to football and to the Dolphins in the way that you are right now?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, actually, to be around, the team, be around the players, the coaches, all of it, Steve
Two
Ross, our
greats right
owner,
there.
Tom Garfinkel, everybody, Chris Greer, our guys. I mean, I just enjoy being around all of them and being a part of something, that I think could be very special.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's why we're here, because you want to see everybody do well, and you want to see the team do well, and all the fans. I'm a fan, also I'm, around a lot, but I'm still a fan.
Yeah.
So I want them to do well. So, I mean, I really enjoy it.
Yeah. And what about Tua? What's your relationship like with
Very
with
good.
Tua?
Yeah, Tua's very good.
What about him and him personally, and what about his game? What stands out to you about him?
I think he's really competitive. He understands the game very well. His instincts are there, like that you could tell. Instincts as far as reading the coverages, throwing the ball, getting the ball out on time, all that stuff. So he's been great.
You've been to South Florida most of your adult life, man. What does this community mean to you? I mean, you've
Yeah,
been most of South Florida.
well, first of all, just coming here as a young person, 21 years old, Coach Shula, the Dolphins, being the rookie quarterback, all that was amazing. But just getting to learn the community, and learn from someone like Coach Shula, the example that he gave all of us.
That was Mike
the
White,
players,
right?
like you mentioned, Jimmy Seflo, Don
Ball.
Strzok, all those guys, Nat Moore, the community service and doing things, and I've been blessed because I've had so many friends here that have helped me in so many ways with our foundation. We do things for autism, kids with developmental disabilities, and that's been something that we have been blessed with for over 30 some years, raised a ton of money, and it's because of the people that you meet in the community and all that, and that's it's been exceptional for me.
Love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And fans love to hear.
Well, yeah, it's true. I mean, it's you're part of it.
But that's the thing. Like, it's one thing to see a guy and he throws a bunch of touchdowns and everything, but then when you feel like he's part of your own community, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal to people.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
That's right.
Hopefully.
good to know.
I say that all the
That's
time,
good to
man.
know
I'm from
for all of
Ohio.
us.
I'm never going back.
Marino's trying to get everybody on the line of scrimmage. We are seeing
fake
another
spike.
spectacular effort by Marino, who fires. Touchdown!
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you this. The fake spike, the clock play, whatever you want to call it. Again, do you think about that? Like, every time the Jets are coming into town or that we're facing the Jets, is it brought to your attention? Do you think about that?
I get reminded.
Yeah.
That's
imagine.
the word, right?
Yeah.
Reminded about it a lot from just fans in general, and just the fact that it comes up because of what it was. Like, it was it was pretty cool when
Right.
it happened, and no one's really done that since then. That was a special day because we sent the Jet fans home.
Right.
And
First and
at the
foremost.
last
First and
minute,
foremost.
yeah, we won that game. Give Bernie Kosar a lot of credit because that was kind of his idea from the beginning. We would practice it all the time. I mean, for like a year and a half,
Yeah.
we practiced that thing.
We ever wonder, like, what the hell am I doing this for?
Yeah, no, I could see.
You knew that it
you
had
could see that
potential.
it could. I saw that that could happen in the right situation, and it was. And Bernie was the one that brought that from. Well, he was from Cleveland, but then he went to Dallas for a year.
Right.
And they won that Super Bowl, and then he came over here.
He said he pitched it. He was on the show, and he said he pitched it to every coach he ever. And finally, somebody was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Yeah, this actually could work."
Oh yeah, definitely.
He said, "My idea, and thankfully, Dan Marino's elite skill."
That's exactly what he said.
I give Bernie credit, but I threw it.
That's
Right, that's
Exactly.
exactly right.
Exactly.
He may not have been able to pull it off.
Oh,
So
that's
good,
funny. That's
so
funny.
good.
That's funny.
Well, Danny, we end every episode of this podcast with the fish tank 2-minute drill. Okay.
Oh,
Over
yeah.
the course of your storied career, you had 37 fourth quarter comebacks. So I think, Jude,
37.
I'm expecting the best 2-minute
Oh,
drill we've
yeah.
ever had here.
Yeah.
I mean, who can run a 2-minute drill like Dan Marino?
Yeah, Danny never won. No kicker ever. No, we're not kicking in. We're not kicking.
We're going to
2-minute
score.
drill. We're going to score a touchdown. He always
Unless
won.
we have to kick.
Exactly. Depends on the
But
time.
we don't start off with that. So Mike's going to put 2 minutes up on the clock here.
Ah.
You want any timeouts? Because if you need them, you got them.
No.
No, it doesn't
I'll
need
need
timeouts.
timeouts.
All right, we're just going to go with this thing. All right, so we're going to start it with just some quick short routes to move the sticks. We're going to call this word association. I just need one word responses to the names that I throw out to you. We got to start with Don Shula.
Tough.
Mark Clayton.
Badass.
Mark Duper.
He's a badass too.
Bruce Smith.
He's a badass.
In the wrong kind of way. Okay.
yeah.
Well, hearing all that.
I love Bruce, but he used to take care of me a little bit. I mean, it actually hit me and actually picked me up.
Okay, I don't think he did that for many people.
No,
That's pretty good.
No, that's not one word.
No, it's not, but that's all right. O.J. McDuffie.
Tough as it gets. Yeah, badass too.
Joe
Got that
Rose.
for
I appreciate that.
Oh, he's.
I want to get away.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did something.
Yeah, I know I was going to, man. I can't, though.
Badass too, man.
Yeah.
Joe Rose, soft is
Just leave it at that.
soft
That's
as
it.
a tissue coming out of the.
Oh, I love it. Oh, this is so good. All right, we're going to open up the offense a little bit. The clock is still running.
All right,
You
all
can
right.
Use a quick release, but your answers can be more than one word here. All right, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. We know how you made Jim Carrey's career on that movie.
Right.
A $100 million film when that was a big deal back then. But there were three things to me that I thought were incredibly unrealistic. But what was the most unrealistic? So was it that someone stole a living dolphin from the stadium? Was it that Ace Ventura caught a bullet with his teeth? Or was it the idea that you would actually be the holder on a field goal attempt?
Yeah. It was. It's all three of those actually. I mean, and everything about that movie is unrealistic, so it doesn't even matter.
I love it.
But I want to say that that's probably the best work I ever did.
Agreed.
It's a joke.
Agreed.
So we
It's
all know
crazy
that
how- yeah.
there's no defense of a perfect throw.
Yeah.
But what defender would you have had the best shot at? Which defender would have the best shot at stopping you?
As far as a corner,
Corner, probably, yeah.
corner. Man, I mean, there were some guys real dudes I played against over the years, and Dion was really good, really good. Mike Haynes, that group, Lester, Mike Haynes, Albert Lewis.
Oh, wow.
Rod Woodson.
Oh, yeah.
Like those cats, like all those cats.
They had a little bit
They
of a
were-
chance.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like, we got our guys.
I know that's
we got
right.
our dudes, you got your dudes, and
Right.
I feel pretty good about our guys, so I'm going to throw on you. It's not like I'm not going to throw on you. But those cats are real deal.
No doubt. All right, final question here. This is a mystery that all Dolph fans have wanted solved for quite some time.
Oh, geez.
Did the director of that commercial just get under your skin, or was it really a flub?
Effing
Which
send
one?
it.
Oh,
Send it in.
it might have been a flub, but we were doing those commercials all day. Like it was all day, and it was in Orlando, quarterback club, and
Right.
all the guys are there, and we're going from one spot to the other. It was the last one, and it was a young kid. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, if he's watching somehow, I'm sorry. I was just over all of it, and so it was no flub.
Send it in.
That is the 2-minute drill.
Yeah,
That was
Marino
it. Gosh, that was too good. That was just too good. I might have put the whole thing in me reacted to it. There wasn't. It was just too good. Too good not to sit here and watch it. I might cut some things out so you can go watch it because I don't want to take it from the fish tank guys to go and watch the full video. But that was just too good. Dan Marino is just an icon. If I ever can get him on this channel, I would be good. I could die tomorrow. So, and Seth, if you're watching this, OJ, hey, Marino, if you're even watching this, which I doubt, but if you are, you ever want to come on, man, I would make a whole day available for you. So, but go check them out. Let me know in the comment section as well. Do you want me to continue doing the power rankings and the picks? Like, I'll restart it next year, but let me know. Also, should I live stream the game on Sunday? It's Christmas Eve at 4:25. I still haven't decided if I'm live streaming the game or not. I'm up in the air whether I'm going to do it or do it at halftime and to the end. I don't know. Comment below. I'll ask you guys again on Friday. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one. But like usual, stay classy. Offense up.